South Florida, we've officially closed out 2025, and some interesting patterns have emerged across Palm Beach and Broward counties. It's time to discuss our real estate market as of January 2026. I'm Larry Mastropieri, broker owner of the Mastropieri Group. Let's do this. We're going to start with days on market data. This metric continues to be the best indicator of how much our market has shifted over the past year. When we dig into the year-to-date average days on market from 2024 and compare it to 2025, both Palm Beach and Broward counties show significant increases. Palm Beach went from 70 days to 88 days. That's a 26% increase. Broward saw an even more dramatic jump from 73 days to 93 days. That's a 27% increase. But here's where it really starts to get interesting. When you look at the median days on market, the slowdown is even more pronounced. Palm Beach jumped 30% from 43 days to 56 days, and Broward a whopping 40% increase from 43 days to 60 days. So what does this tell us? Well, homes are definitely taking longer to sell across the board. The fast-paced market we saw a few years ago is firmly in the rearview mirror. Now, before anyone panics, let's just put this into perspective real quick. An average of 88 to 93 days on market isn't really the end of the world. If you track historical data from 2015 to 2019, this was actually pretty normal. We're simply returning to a more balanced market after those crazy pandemic years. Real quick, I would just like to take a moment to remind you, if you're enjoying this content and would like to stay up to date with real estate happenings here in South Florida, tap the like button below and subscribe to Discover South Florida. We produce all kinds of useful, interesting content, from featured stories to on-site tours of popular South Florida towns and destinations. We even do weekly live podcasts where we answer your questions and have fun discussing what's happening in the area. Now, let's talk about what everyone really wants to know. What's happening to prices? And this is where Palm Beach and Broward counties start to tell very different stories. Palm Beach County saw the average sale price increase by 7% year to date, going from $843,000 to just over $900,000. And Broward County, only a 3% increase from $587,000 to $604,000. Now, you know me, I always cross-check the average prices with the median prices because there's high-end luxury sales that can really skew the averages. And when we look at the median data, the picture becomes even clearer. Both counties saw only a 1% increase in median sales price year to date. Palm Beach County went from $495,000 to $500,000, and Broward went from $445,000 to $450,000. So what's the takeaway here? Well, Palm Beach County is showing stronger price appreciation, particularly in the mid to upper price ranges, while Broward County is essentially flat when you look at the median data across the board. This divergence between Palm Beach and Broward is significant. Palm Beach is maintaining stronger pricing power, more than double Broward's average appreciation, and when you consider that homes in both counties are sitting on the market 26 to 27% longer, the fact that Palm Beach still managed a 7% average price growth stat is notable. Now let's dive into the supply side of this equation, because inventory levels tell us a lot about where the market is headed. Both counties saw inventory increases year to date. Palm Beach inventory went up 6% from about 55,000 homes to 58,000 homes. Broward saw a 7% increase from about 63,000 to 68,000 homes. But here's the critical context. Both counties are now sitting at higher inventory levels as compared to December of 2019, pre-pandemic. Palm Beach County is 8% above pre-pandemic levels when it comes to inventory, and Broward County is 17% higher. That is a substantial jump. Now, that would beg the question, are we seeing a flood of new listings? And the answer is actually no. New listings are down in both counties. Palm Beach saw a 1% decrease in new listings year to date. Broward was down 2%. So why is inventory up if fewer homes are coming to market? Well, pretty simple. Homes are sitting longer because they're taking more time to sell. It's simple math. This is where the story starts to get even more interesting for buyers and sellers. We're not seeing panic selling or a massive wave of distressed inventory. Instead, we're seeing existing inventory accumulating because the market is moving at a slower pace. Here's where Palm Beach and Broward County really start to separate. Palm Beach County actually saw a 1% increase in sold homes year to date, from 24,454 to 24,702. Not huge, but it's positive growth. Broward County, on the other hand, a 7% decrease in sold homes, from 26,118 to 24,296. So what does this tell us? Well, Palm Beach is maintaining sales velocity despite the slower market conditions, while Broward is starting to lose momentum. And if we look at under contract activity, Palm Beach is up 3% year to date, and Broward is down 5%. So the trend is consistent. This is probably the most important data point in the entire update. Sales volume is the lifeblood of any real estate market. Palm Beach is holding steady, Broward is contracting. If you're a seller in Broward, this matters. And if you're a buyer in Palm Beach, this also matters. Now, let's talk about absorption rate. This is one of my favorite metrics because it tells us whether we're in a seller's market, a buyer's market, or somewhere in between. Quick explanation as to what absorption rate is. If no new properties were added to the market and sales continued at its current pace, absorption rate shows how long the current inventory would last at the current rate of sales. Typically, a 5 to 6 month absorption rate is considered a balanced market. Anything below 5 months is a seller's market, and anything above 6 months is a buyer's market. And here's another interesting point where this story of two counties really deviates. Palm Beach County's overall absorption rate actually improved from 7.18 months down to 6.96 months. We're moving closer to that balanced market we discussed. Now, Broward County, the opposite is true. The absorption rate went from 8.28 months to 9.01 months. That's deeper into buyer's market territory. Broward now tells a bit of a different story. The mid-range did improve, but the overall market is at 9 months. It's firmly in buyer market territory. And here's the concern. Broward's luxury market above 1.5 million actually got worse. It went from 14.28 months to 14.54 months. That's over a year to sell a luxury property. So what's the takeaway? Well, Palm Beach is improving across the board with an actual seller's market in the sweet spot where a lot of buyers are focused. That might be frustrating to buyers, but it's net positive for sellers. Broward is mixed. The mid-range is improving, but the entry-level and luxury markets are struggling a bit. This absorption rate data tells us that Palm Beach has momentum, while Broward is still searching for that stability. Hey, real quick, if you're finding this data helpful but want to know what it means for your specific situation, maybe you're curious about a particular neighborhood or want to dive deeper into the numbers. Note, I love this stuff. I built spreadsheets in detail that go way beyond what we can cover in these videos. And this is the type of market intelligence that we provide our clients when we work together. But I'd be happy to have a discussion, happy to share it with you. Don't hesitate, just reach out. So now let's pull it all together and compare Palm Beach and Broward side by side. When it comes to price performance, Palm Beach is outperforming with a 7% average price growth versus Broward County's 3%. Both counties have modest 1% median growth rates, so the strength is concentrated in that mid to upper price point. This 1% annual median price growth stat that we see here is not unexpected. This is what we've been communicating to our sellers. We should probably expect to see this continue, this 0, 1, 2% annual price growth year over year. And so I would encourage sellers to take that into account when they're determining when they want to sell. When it comes to market pace, both counties have slowed significantly over the past year. Palm Beach homes are averaging 88 days on market. Broward is slightly slower at 93 days on market. Both are up about 26 to 27% from the previous year. Now, when it comes to sales activity, this is the big differentiator. Palm Beach sold 1% more homes in 2025. Broward sold 7% fewer. That's an 8-point swing between those two markets. Now, when it comes to inventory, both counties are up 6 to 7% in total inventory. But when we compare Palm Beach County and Broward County to pre-pandemic inventory levels, Palm Beach County is only up 8%, while Broward County is up a whopping 17%. So again, continued softness coming from that Broward County market, while Palm Beach still seems to be holding its own or staying relatively stronger. And when it comes to absorption rate, this is where the divergence becomes even more clear. Palm Beach has improved to a 6.96 months of absorption and has a seller's market in that 500 to 750K range, while Broward worsened to a 9 months absorption and remains firmly in that buyer's market territory across most price points. So what do we think is actually driving the difference between these two counties? Palm Beach is showing stronger resilience. It seems like it's attracting more buyers, possibly because of all the new developments in the open areas. There's a little bit less density in Palm Beach, while Broward is experiencing a deeper cool down with reduced sales volume and slower price growth, maybe because of higher density and people exiting to go to Palm Beach County. And that's all the data I have for you guys today. Thanks for sticking with it. Now, for my final thoughts, what does this mean for buyers and sellers here in 2026? If you're a buyer overall, you have more leverage than you ever have, especially in Broward County. You have significant leverage. It's a buyer's market across most price points. You have a little bit of time, you have options, you can negotiate a little bit more. But in Palm Beach County, especially in that $500,000 to $750,000 price range, you need to act more decisively. That segment is competitive again. If you're a seller in Palm Beach County, the data is encouraging. Your market is stabilizing, absorption rates are improving. If you're priced correctly and present your home well, you're in a stronger position than you were a year ago for sure, especially in certain price ranges. Now, if you're a seller in Broward, you need to be maybe a little bit more realistic. The market is a little softer right now. Buyers have more choices. Your pricing strategy needs to be aggressive, not hopeful. And you need to understand that homes in average condition, they're going to sit longer. From my experience in the field today, right now, homes in top condition and good locations will continue to outperform in both counties. But properties that don't measure up, they're going to sit. And in this market, time on market equals price reductions. Overall, I think we're trending in a very healthy direction. We're moving away from the unsustainable pace of 21 and 22. We're settling into a market that's more predictable, more balanced, and frankly, more normal. Thank you guys again for tuning in. We know the market here in South Florida because we sell more homes than anyone else. So if you have any questions about the market, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm Larry Mastropieri, broker owner of the Mastropieri Group, and I'll see you guys on the next one.